Hi everyone, my name is Bizarre Individual. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back. I thought it would be a fun discussion video to go over top 10 things that may irritate other manga tubes in the community of how I collect, how I read, how I enjoy this massive hobby of mine. I've pretty much been collecting since I was 13 years old, and I'm 35 now. So I've been collecting for over 2 decades now. So yeah, very, very, very long time. So yeah, I've definitely picked up some traits and some things that don't bother me that I'm sure bother some other people. Keep in mind that this video is just supposed to be fun and lighthearted. Let me know down in the comments which ones piss you off the most of things that I do. And also let me know if there's anything that you do that bothers other people in the community. But yeah, let's just get started with number 10. Okay, so number 10, I really wish I was better at. Honestly, one, because it would make reviewing series so much better, and I would definitely improve. But yeah, I honestly could care less what the characters' names are, like how they're pronounced or what they even are in a series when I'm reading it. I know that sounds crazy, but I've just always been that way. I just kind of skip over names, and it might even make it easier to read if I knew like which character like was who with name, but I don't know. I just cannot pronounce it. I am just very slow. I've always had trouble reading growing up, so that's probably why I really enjoy manga, because there's the pictures and I can tell what's going on without like remembering characters' names and how to pronounce them. I think it would be I think I really want to do a class on it, but I just never have enough motivation to learn pronunciations and stuff like that. So yeah, that's definitely an unpopular one, because everyone is just so good at pronouncing names and learning characters, and I'm over here, I don't know. I'm gonna be really real with you. I know it sounds kind of rude, but in real life, I don't know anyone's names that I even work with. I just talk without knowing people's names. But anyways, yeah, so that is number 10. I am really bad with pronouncing names, and I just don't care enough to learn. Number 9, I love collecting different editions to series that I love. So I know that a lot of people, they think it's ridiculous and crazy to collect more than one edition because they only want to buy what they read, which I can completely understand that, and I do agree with that. The only issue is I am not only a manga reader, but I'm also a manga collector, and I just like to have different versions, more of a collection standpoint, which I know that a lot of manga tubers don't like get that. They think like if you're not going to read it, then why have it? But I don't know. I just really enjoy collecting, and I know, I guess books are supposed to be meant to read, but like I don't know. It's just weird to me that like you can collect Pokemon cards is what's coming to my mind, but you can collect Pokemon cards and you can collect figures, and they just sit there and you just look at them. So like, what's the difference of me spending that money on different editions of series that I enjoy? So yeah, that one I know is going to piss a lot of people off, but yeah. Okay, this one is going to drive some people crazy and make them go OCD, but I do not mind at all, especially if it's a harder series to find, or if it's just easier. If I started collecting a series one way, then I don't mind it being different sizes. I don't mind being at different editions. I don't even mind it being different publishers. I know that in the manga community, everyone likes it so uniform, and they will even go to the extreme of when companies change the logo, that irritates them, like just at the little bottom, which I don't understand at all. As long as I can read the full story, and like I just do not care at all. Size, like some of them can be a 3-in-1, some of them can be singles. As long as I have the full thing, that's all I care about. As long as I can enjoy and consume the overall experience, I could care less about like, I don't know. But like, don't get me wrong, like I'd love like series together, and authors together and stuff like that, and publishers together, but at the same time, as long as I can read it, it really doesn't bother me. So like for example, I got some Vizbigs of a series on the first part, but they didn't have the last Vizbig, but they had the singles at the used bookstore, and I was like, I don't know if I can find this last edition or this last Vizbig, and I wanted to read the series, and so I got the singles for it. So yeah, there's been a couple times where I've opted to do that, like Battle Royale. I have a bigger one from Tokyo Pop, and then all the rest singles, which I guess honestly the only thing that bothers me is my shelves have to be different sizes, at least with the IKEA ones, which I'm going to eventually replace those. But I feel like it's annoying because I have to put the bigger ones on the bigger one, so it takes up some space from the bigger one because it has small ones. So other than the size difference, like on the actual shelf, like the size doesn't actually bother me, but just where I can place them, it kind of makes them have to be in a certain way. But anyways, but yeah, so that's gonna trigger some people because I know people like it to be so uniformed, but I don't mind starting a series in singles and ending in omnibus editions at all, even if they're different sizes. But yeah. Okay, another fun one. I do not mind library copies at all, as long as the pages are still there. They're not like gross. I do not mind library stickers. I actually have this series that I want to get more library stickers for, called Library Wars. I think it would just be so fun and interesting on my shelf to kind of get like the library, I don't know what it's called, but like the place where you mark that you checked it out, and every single time I read it, I write my name and like the date that I read it. I think that would be just so much fun. And then a lot of them I bought used libraries, so I just left them on because it's called Library Wars. So the ones that don't have the library, like little side stickers on it, I definitely want to somehow, I'll even pay for them, go to the library and get them like the stickers put on. So I think that'd be so awesome. But yeah, if I get any library books and it's cheaper to get the library like volume, I will opt for that all the time. I don't even care if half the series is brand new and some of them are library copies all mixed in. I'll leave the sticker on. I do not care. So that is definitely an unpopular opinion in the manga community. Okay, number 6. I rather buy the full series and binge it all than wait per volume. And you might say, well, how do you know if you're going to like the series if you haven't read the first volume? You are correct. Sometimes I will read the first volume just to kind of feel out the series, and then I'll just collect the rest of it. And by the first volume, I can honestly know if I'm going to enjoy it or not, because I'm not picky at all. I enjoy like 95% of everything. So maybe I might need to be more picky, I probably should, but I find enjoyment out of everything. So for me, that's not really an issue that I see that other collectors have. So yeah, I got burned one time just because the material was too graphic for me, and I did enjoy the story and I could see why other people love it, but I bought the whole thing and I read the first 3 omnibuses and I was like, I can't go on. There was just too many issues that I had, personal issues I had with it. So that was like the one time. Every other time, doesn't matter if it's goofy, wacky, bizarre, crazy, I'll find some enjoyment out of it enough to read the full thing. So, yeah, I normally don't have the issue, but I definitely want to start reading the first volume, but I much rather buy the full thing, wait until it comes out, and just buy it, and that way I can just binge it, and I don't have to wait, because I hate cliffhangers, I hate waiting, stuff like that. So yeah. Number 5, misclassifying demographics. This is a very, one that's very, that people have very strong passions about, labeling different demographics. I love labeling different demographics because that's how I like to organize my shelves. So I pretty much just do it for fun. And if you've watched my previous videos, or like talk to me, then it might seem like I actually care about demographics because I'm just so fascinated about what demographic it is. But at the end of the day, I don't care what demographic it is as long as I'm enjoying the series. But I just think it's fun to know the demographic, but at the same time, I don't feel like the demographics add up to what the series is. Like, I was told that shoujo was for teenage girls and josei was for adult women. There is a lot of stuff that goes under the umbrella of shoujo that is not josei, that is in a shoujo magazine, and it should not be for young girls. Same with, I'm sure, same with shonen. I just can't think of any examples with shonen, but I'm sure there's a lot of shonen that should not be read by younger boy audiences, that should be read by men, that's labeled under the shoujo and not seinen. So, yeah, so that, I just don't understand demographics kind of at all. I just find it more interesting, what the target audience is, but I don't understand why there's such an argument about it. Kind of like I was in a comment section and then someone says that this feels more like a josei, which I completely agreed with, and people were just attacking this person online, and I guess I probably shouldn't have stepped in, but I was just kind of like, well, it feels like it, and then I got attacked. But I don't know, like, it just, but I just don't get it. I just do not understand. Like, I didn't mean to jump into car drama. I was just kind of like wanting to defend that person because they were getting attacked by 5 people. And I have a thing for bullying. But anyways, but like, it just doesn't make sense to me. Like, 1, why does it matter? And 2, you can feel like something else is a different demographic and you shouldn't be attacked online. And yeah, stuff like that. But yeah, anyways, so demographics I don't feel like are important or should be important enough. It should be you read what you enjoy. Another time someone posted 5 of their favorite shoujo series, and none of them, not one single one out of the 5, was shoujo. And me being loving finding out new information, I commented, it doesn't matter, but just letting you know, none of these are shoujo. And they attacked me, which I felt awful. Not that they attacked me, but that they felt like I was, that they got offended, like, off of what I said. Because I was just trying to, 1, bring up conversation and make a new friend, because I want to be friends with everyone. And 2 is that I love learning, and when I'm wrong, I love for people to respectfully correct me and be like, hey, not that it matters, but blah blah blah, and then we can talk about it. So I was kind of bringing up conversation, about demographics, and I was kind of shut down, which I feel more bad that I offended that person because I wouldn't have even said anything. So that's why now I just don't say anything. Like if someone thinks something is a different demographic, I'm like, okay, cool. That's how you feel. Good for you. But anyways, at the end of the day, my point is demographics shouldn't matter, even though that it's huge in the manga community. So yeah. Oh, this one's going to trigger so many people. I'm kind of scared to say it, but kind of like before when I said that I am not only a manga reader, I'm also a manga collector. I buy things that I am not planning on reading. So that is definitely going to trigger a lot of people. But I like to collect manga history. I like to collect like older manga sometimes that is out of print. I like to like I have a BL collection, so I'm thinking like for example, I have these BL light novels that I'm never planning on reading. They're just trash, and I'm not interested in them at all. I have so many light novels that I am interested in, but they're like older, trashy light novels that I got for on sale because I just want to collect everything BL. So like it's more of like a collection thing, and I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate for that, but and there's other things like I want to have in my collection, kind of like I guess like a figure, even though it's a book, but I know, and I'm not planning on ever reading it, and I don't want to read it, but I'm happy that it's in my collection, and I wouldn't give it up, and um yeah, I guess we're just going to, because I just don't understand this. Like it's kind of like if you don't read your full collection, then there's like all this hate. Like it's like a sin. It's like you're shunned if you don't read your full collection. Like I don't understand it. It doesn't make sense to me. But anyways, I don't even know if that's another one, but we'll see. It might be. It might come up. Okay, I was right. Number 4 is not reading your full collection. I made this list quite some time ago, so I kind of forgot everything that was on it. So bear with me. But yeah, so I knew it was coming up. But number 3 is not reading your full collection, not reading everything that you own. First off, I want to say if your goal is to read everything in your collection, and you do, and you achieve your goal, I am so freaking happy for you. The only thing is why are you getting mad at me when my goal is not, like my goal is not to read everything in my collection. I read 20 to 30 volumes a month, on average, and even my smaller hauls are 30 volumes, if that. So like there's no way I'm going to read everything that I buy. And I know that that sounds crazy to you, but, and that's okay. But like, why are you giving people that do not have enough time to read their collection and much rather have other hobbies or work a lot, just don't have time or is a mom and can't read as much or something like that, why are you sending so much hate? Like I just don't get it. That's one thing that I will not understand. It's like if I don't read like most of my collection, then it's like a sin and I should be banished. Like it's just so weird to me that people get so heated on that one topic. I will never understand. So like what if I lost my job and I couldn't buy manga and I was looking for a job for like 3 months, let's just say, and when I finally get a job I have to catch up on everything, so I'm not getting manga for probably 6 months. And what am I going to read? I guess I could reread, but I have all this manga to read, and don't get me wrong, I want to read all my manga because I want to experience all the stories, and I do read a lot of manga a month. I think for how much time I have, I do really enjoy reading manga. I just wish I had more time to read manga, and then I would read a lot more manga. I just don't understand this pressure to read your whole entire collection. And like what if you're older and you're retired and this is all you have and you've already read everything and you don't you don't have as much income. So it's like, it just doesn't make sense to me why there's such a hard, like standard to read everything you own, or else you shouldn't have it. Like, it would never make sense to me. It's just like, there's just so much, like, people get so angry over it, and that's probably like, have you read all that you buy? Like, I just don't get it. It's like, as long as you're on a budget and you can afford to pay all your bills, then who cares? To me, it's like a collection, and I'm going to collect volumes that I see on sale. I'm gonna collect volumes that I feel like I can't get later on. Yes, sometimes I overspend, and I have overspent in the past, and I shouldn't have bought those volumes. But if you can be on a budget and you can afford the volumes, and you're not going to read everything that you buy that month, then who cares? Like, I do not understand. But anyways, moving on. So yeah, I just want to show you guys a random shelf. I just picked this one because it was one of my favorite, like, organized shelves in my collection. So I wanted to kind of go over and just show you guys like what I've read on a random shelf, and what I still have left, to kind of give you guys an example of what I mean. But yeah, so let's start off with I Hear the Sunspot. I read I Hear the Sunspot and I Hear the Sunspot Theory of Happiness, and I stopped at I Hear the Sunspot Limit. Started to read it, but then I decided to wait until the rest of it came out, and the rest of it is out up to volume 3, and then it started another one, so I still need to go back and read that, but I'm going to just start from the beginning. So, and the next up is My Brother's Husband. Read that multiple times. Love that series. Next one, another one of my favorites, is A Home Far Away. Of course, I've read that one. You All My Happiness. Loved Melting Lover. I read both of those. Canvas read. This right here is just, it's the same thing, but it went out of, they weren't able to print this one, so that they made a new remastered one. But I haven't opened it yet, but I do believe that it has like, it has more material in it, like art and stuff. So I do need to go through that. Then this is like a continuation of volumes 1 and 2. Have not read. I've read the Song of Yuri and Asa 1. I've not read Encore yet, but I'm not planning on it because I hated it. So yeah, that's kind of off my TBR, but still keeping it because I'm keeping everything Kuma because I love this publisher. Sick, really enjoyed. Boys of the Dead, I enjoyed. The Pet Detective Agency, I enjoyed. I haven't read Wild Life. Haven't read this one right here. I read Kisses, Macaroons, and Lovely Pie. It was good. It was okay for what it was. Happy Crappy Life, Volume 1. Have not read because I'm waiting for more of them. This one I recently read, A Hero in the Demon's Castle, and I really enjoyed that one. That one's also my new favorite. So yeah, out of 25 volumes on the shelf, if you count, these are really 2 in 1, so it's kind of more, but anyways, out of 25 actual just volumes together, I've read 14, and then this is a like the same thing. It's exactly the same thing, but just with more added. So I'm going to say that I read that. So read 15, not planning on reading this one. So then that's 16 out of 25. So just kind of do that as you want. So 16 out of 25 to me is pretty good. So that's kind of course, more shelves are, like, every single shelf is different. Some shelves I've read more than that, other shelves I read less. So this just kind of gives you an idea. So yeah. Okay, so this one I'm very scared to say because it might actually should be number 1. I might switch it, but kind of went back and forth for a while. But I'm going to keep this as number 2, things that I get canceled for in the manga community. And like I said, I'm very scared to say this, but I'm just going to go out and say it. I do not really care to visit Japan. I don't know. I've just definitely been thinking about this recently. A couple of my friends have went over to Japan. I actually have to go pick up some things that they bought me from over there. But yeah, I don't get me wrong. Like, if the trip was free to go to Japan and I could get the time off, I would totally go to Japan and I would have a great time. Don't get me wrong. But if I could pick anywhere to go on vacation, it would not be Japan. And I would not want to spend X amount of money to save up to go to Japan when I could buy manga, or I could buy anime, or I could pretty much drive down to Florida, which is only like 5 hours away, and spend half the amount of money and have just as much fun in Florida. So I don't know if that made any sense or not, but I know that's going to trigger people because, like, in this community, everyone wants to go to Japan, and it's like such like the weeb life. And I feel like I've hyped up Japan before. Like, I'm like, oh, I would love to go to Japan. I would do anything to go to Japan. I'm sure I've said that before. I don't remember saying it, but I'm sure I've said it before just because of this like standard in this community of wanting to go to Japan, when honestly I could care less to ever go to Japan. Like, yes, it would be amazing and I would have fun, but I would never pay for it. I would much rather spend on other things. So that's a very controversial thing, but it is what it is, and I'm sorry if I offended you on that one, but I don't know. Okay, so we are at number 1 reasons why I would or am canceled from the manga community. I very scared to say this, but I have never read Berserk, and I tried to read Berserk a little bit, and I didn't like it. I couldn't get into it, and I have no desire to read it in the next 10 years. I of course do want to give it another try, and I do want to read it sometime in my life just because it is a classic, but other than that, I don't care at all in any shape or form to read Berserk, and I know that that is like the most craziest thing. That's why I saved it for number 1, and I know I'm probably going to lose all my subscribers. Probably not, just because I'm sure if you know me, and a lot of my subscribers actually just know me, that's why they're subscribed, that they know that I don't like it anyways. But yeah, I'm kind of scared to say that I'm not interested in reading Berserk at all in the slightest, except for that it is a classic and I want to read all the classics. But yeah, so yeah, that is it. That is the top 10 things that got me banished, got me canceled from the manga community. These are just fun things that I thought up of. I might make another top 10 list. But yeah, like I said before, let me know down in the comments what things triggered you the most, because I would love to know. And I will see you guys in the next video.